Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we are going to talk about Amendment 3 in Florida and what to expect in the future now that the legalization wasn't passed. But before we get started, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any weekly episodes and posts. You can find video of this episode strictly on YouTube, but the audio everywhere else. But to get right into it, for anyone who doesn't know what Amendment 3 is, Amendment 3 allows anyone 21 years or older to legally smoke and possess up to 3 ounces of marijuana at a time, and allowing them to grow around 2 to 3 plants in their own home. So, for example, if you go to California or now Maryland and New York, you can legally buy marijuana and smoke it if you are 21 years old without getting stopped by the police. But what people don't understand is that when marijuana is legalized, there are still limitations to where you can smoke marijuana. And that's where I see the most fake news and is one of the main reasons I believe why Amendment 3 didn't get passed here in Florida. For example, in places like Maryland, where weed is legal, people are still not allowed to smoke in front of state buildings or schools. And that's the biggest problem I was seeing here in Florida because there's hundreds of commercials and people on the radio basically saying, oh, if weed gets legal, there's going to be people out front of your preschool smoking and doing things at parks in front of your kids. And now, yes, maybe there will be a few kids outside of a building, but they will do that anyway if weed is going to be legal or not. Now, for the majority of smokers, we do not just smoke because we want to. We smoke because weed can help with pain, depression, anxiety, PTSD, autism, and many more things, having it be backed by science. Yet we let people kill themselves with alcohol and completely normalize it. Also, people in Florida were saying how the weed smell in the air is going to restrict tourism business, and that is simply not true because when Washington, D.C. legalized marijuana, their sales skyrocketed because it brought the younger generations in because half of them back medical marijuana. So, to say tourism will be hurt from the smell of marijuana, that is simply not true because no matter what, Florida is going to have tourists. It just depends on the type of people you want to promote to, and clearly, Florida's not interested in promoting to this newer generation. So, now that we covered why I believe Amendment 3 wasn't passed here in Florida, let's now talk about the future of marijuana and what it's going to do to these local businesses. Now, when it comes to buying and consuming marijuana, unfortunately, the things still stay the same. Having the consumer go to a doctor and have to get prescribed a medical card and a certain amount of product they are allowed to purchase each month. You're also only allowed to purchase marijuana from state approved dispensaries, and you can only smoke in the confinement of your own home. And for businesses, this really hit hard because dispensaries aren't treated like other companies and they get taxed crazy when it comes to their profits and product, leaving them little to no money to create even better facilities or produce better grow areas. Also, when it comes to this year's election, a lot of dispensaries put up millions of dollars in order to back the legalization of marijuana in Florida, having voters vote a total of 55%, but needing 60 to fully legalize, leaving a lot of these smaller dispensaries in a pretty large debt. So, whether you're a marijuana smoker or not, you cannot deny that marijuana can benefit people in the right dosage, potency, and strain because the real scientific research is there. And if you don't want to smoke or even partake in it, that is completely fine. But don't ruin something or not legalize something, which we know can help fix and save lives when you have something like alcohol and tobacco out there, which we know 100% kills people. But with that said, today's quote is by Dr. Don Davidson. He once said, "Cannabis today is personalized medicine based on you, your goals, your past experiences, your tolerance, and what you are attempting to treat today." Today's cannabis medicines allow you to tailor the experience and psychoactivity to what works best for you. I appreciate you tuning in. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And this is the Dowden Podcasts.